This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
It's Friday, April the 10th, 2015, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news that President Barack Obama has admitted that his country has not always played by the rules in providing aid to the Caribbean governments. At the same time, Obama has told Barbados and other CARICOM states they should ensure they check for all and any strings attached to aid and investment being provided by foreign governments, including the U.S. itself, as well as China. Addressing the young leaders of the Americas Initiative at the Mona campus of the University of the West Indies during his brief visit to Jamaica for a special CARICOM U.S. summit yesterday, Obama told the gathering that Caribbean leaders must make sure the assistance being offered has long-term benefits for the masses. He suggested that transparency be the watchword in accepting foreign aid.
The United States, I think, historically, has been an enormous provider of development aid. Not always, by the way, has it followed the rule I just laid out in terms of whether or not the local recipients are benefiting, but I think we've gotten a lot better at that. And if you look at institutions like the World Bank or other multilateral institutions, we remain the largest contributors by far. So sometimes when you get money from a multilateral institution, you look at who's doing what. If you look at what happens in terms of when Haiti gets decimated, who's raising the money, we tend to look pretty good. Turns out we're doing more than our fair share. And we will continue to do that.
A sugar industry administrator is worried that this year's crop could suffer a further setback if there's another significant outbreak in cane fires like what occurred last year. That's why General Manager of the Barbados Agricultural Management Company, Leslie Paris, is appealing for common sense to prevail. Added to that, Paris is suggesting that Joint Police Barbados Defense Force patrols become a routine exercise in the sugar belt.
Fires impact negatively because what would happen is that you have a harvesting schedule, and when a fire occurs, it then becomes our main priority to move that cane to the factory. So if you have a schedule and then that schedule is disrupted by way of fire to a particular ground or field, then that could throw your schedule off a bit.
A noted University of the West Indies Cayfield campus professor and economist is calling for a creative destruction of the education system in Barbados. Professor Dr. Andrew Downs made the call for reform yesterday as he addressed the Rotary Club of Barbados' weekly meeting at the Hilton Resort. Downs, a former director of the Sir Arthur Lewis Institute of Social and Economic Studies, suggested reform in 4 areas, one being curriculum reform that's relevant and globally oriented.
Secondly, we need to focus on pedagogy, which is therefore we need to devise ways and means of being able to convey information to persons that fix their ability to learn and the capability to do certain things. Because what you have is an education system which is straight-jacketed, forces you to finish things in a certain time by a certain age, and certainly some of us are not up to speed in that particular regard, and that creates a bit of a problem for us. Thirdly, we need also to look at assessment methods. How do we assess people, especially at the transition from one level of education system to another level of education system? We want that system to be not only continuous, but to also be developmental. And finally, we need to have a system where we need to develop transition arrangements as we move from one level to the next.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products
test of character, a test of focus, a test of will, a test of resilience, a test of courage. Barbados, the test is on. West Indies, England, May 1st at the Mecca. Tickets $30, $40, $50, and $60. It's on.
Are you Barbados is on.
Barbados, are you ready for Movado? FAS Entertainment presents the Digicel Reggae Beach Party, Sunday, April 19th at the all-new Reggae Island from 3 p.m. Featuring the new sensation, Gully Bob, Popcorn, the return of Movado. Plus Live Pipe and Status, Brutal, Kirk Brown, Mad Dog, Peter Ram, Celebrity Face, Lady Essence, Stiffy, Mole, and Slims. MC Jamar the Star. The Digicel Reggae Beach Party, Sunday, April 19th at the all-new Reggae Island, Pierhead Lane, Lower Bay Street from 3 p.m. It begins here.
In St. Lucia, on the heels of a spate of gun violence in the country's capital, the Royal St. Lucia Police Force wants the public to rest assured of its unyielding commitment to pushing back against crime. More in this HTS News Force story.
At the scene of the country's latest murder on Thursday, the media interrogated police on the institution's resilience.
Any genuine police officer or police force would like to see any form of violent situation being curbed at the earliest. But given the unpredictability of human nature, you could never tell what's going to happen. But rest assured that we, the members of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, we remain resolute in our functions, in our duties, and we shall continue to do what we have to do despite this latest apparent upsurge in violent crime.
There will be no criminal charges filed against any member of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service for the March 23rd roadblocks, which brought the country to a near standstill, and that's according to the Acting Commissioner of Police, Stephen Williams. However, the senior officers involved may possibly face disciplinary action. He made the comment during the weekly press briefing where he detailed the findings of a probe into the total day of policing to journalists. He said that while the total policing carried out in 2014 recorded the lowest numbers of serious crime, the probe into the March 23rd activity revealed facts and gaps in their policing procedures. One of the gaps identified was communication from the executive level to the lower ranks. And on the global front, tornadoes have struck eastern Iowa and northern Illinois, threatening the lives of about 95 million people. The National Weather Service is urging people around the Midwest to be on the alert for severe weather. We join the CNN Weather Report for the details.
We also have a tornado watch for the entire Windy City, Chicago. In fact, 95 million of you are in the risk zone right now for potentially dangerous storms. If you're away from your television, come look at this. This is the view from a storm chaser's camera just west of St. Louis. Similar weather claimed the life of a woman in Indiana yesterday. She was trying to remove debris from a storm drain outside her house near Indianapolis. Somehow, she got swept down a creek that overflowed. The CNN Severe Weather Center tracked 10 reported tornadoes, mostly in rural areas. Some of you sent us pictures of giant pieces of hail, some the size of your hand practically. Today's weather system stretches over 15 states. It could hit more populated cities than it has.
And that's our Barbados Today morning news update. But you can join us again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 on Lime TV and Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.
This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.